organization and communication, and lasts for around 20 to 25 minutes. And you can see from the screenshots here, it is a mobile-based assessment. It's mobile first. It's designed to be delivered and taken through your mobile phone, both Android and iOS. When you take the test, you'll get an English score, which is scored from 0 to 600. So you can see that on the left-hand side. So you get an indication of your score. You'll also get a CEFR level for each of those skills, which is the sort of an internationally recognized scale of assessing English proficiency. You can see in the middle screen, you get a sort of dashboard with all your test scores on there. You can take the test more than once and see how you improve as you learn or work on your English. And then lastly, on the right-hand side, you get your certificate. And we'll take a closer look at that. So this is an example of a core skills certificate, where you get a breakdown of your scores, how you've done on each skill, some security features, which I'll be talking about in a moment, and some feedback on what that level means. So that's a very brief overview of English score, the test and the skills and so on that go into it. But now let's sort of talk about the main topic, which is AI. And we'll start by talking about AI proctoring. So this is around the security side of things. And at English score, we sort of think about 4 critical areas in security, in test security. First one on the top left here is around test item or assessment security. We want to make sure that our item bank, so that's all our questions that are included in the test, are secure and can't be stolen, essentially, so that we can be confident in the scores that we issue. A second part of the security domain is around exam security, making sure that when we deliver the test through your phone, that follows the correct guidelines, that people can't cheat when they take the test. Obviously, you can take this test on your phone, which means you can take the test anywhere. So we need to be confident that when you do take that test, that you are following the rules of the test and you're not cheating or able to look up the answers somewhere or asking for someone's help when you take the test. The third area is around certificate security. You want to make sure that when we do issue a certificate, that is correct. We don't have fake certificates. We want to make sure that people that are making decisions, so that might be employers or other institutions or governments, can able to check and trust that certificate is correct and valid. And then lastly, information security, so protecting against any cyber attacks or exploits, which could be targeted against how we deliver the assessment, our test items, etc. And we have a security report, which is available on our website, and you're welcome to take a look at that to learn more about how we do these things. But today I want to talk particularly around the test security side of things and how we ensure that the test can be delivered securely. So we do a number of different things. One of these is we have millions of test combinations, so that people don't get the same test repeated. So that as an individual test taker, you don't see the same test when you take the test more than once, but also if you're in a class of students, that you're not all getting the same test. So it's really important that you're getting a randomized test. We use the front-facing camera of the phone to enforce certain security protocols, which again, I'll show you in just a moment. We enforce exam conditions, which means that you're not able to look things up. You're not able to leave the test and come back into it. And then lastly, as mentioned, we want to issue secure certificates. So in terms of those test combinations, we use a data-driven approach to ensure that you get minimal to no question repetitions. So to start with, we have a very large item bank of questions that is continuously refreshed and updated. So we're getting continuously new items coming into our item bank. When we select a test for a user, we look at the questions that they have answered so far, and we select new questions. So you reduce the chance of any individual test taker seeing the same question again And that really helps with the security side of things, but also means that you can be confident in the results and that you're not able to prepare in advance for the questions. We also ensure that when the items are delivered to your phone, that is done securely, that as a user, you cannot get access to the answers, that you only see the questions. So we use a whole range of different approaches to ensure that as a test taker, when you sit the test, that you haven't seen these questions before and that you won't see them again. The other aspect we do is proctoring. So this is monitoring people or using the front-facing camera to ensure that the security features are being followed during the test. So we use the front-facing camera, and you can see in the right-hand side an example of how this works. It uses face detection, and this happens in real time. So, for example, if the face is not visible, or the face is partially visible, this will be flagged. So if face is not visible, perhaps you're looking at something, you're looking up an answer online or something, so we want to be able to flag that. If there's more than one face detected, so if you have someone helping you with the exam, again, we want to be able to detect that in real time, or if you're too far away from the test, or from the camera rather, again, we want to detect that. All of this is to ensure that the face is visible throughout the test. And the reason for this is that then gives us confidence that that this test has been delivered securely and that the results that we issue are correct and valid. To do all of this, we use face detection technology, which recognizes sort of key features of the face, and we have parameters in place to, for example, if the face is partially visible, that will be flagged. If there are two people in the frame, that again will be flagged. If that does happen, so if someone leaves the screen, there'll be a warning on screen. We can't see your face, the test is paused, and a photograph is taken. And that will happen throughout the assessment. So this is a way of ensuring that throughout the assessment, with the core skills test, the writing test, the speaking test, we are continuously monitoring and ensuring that the test is being delivered securely. And you can see that, throughout the test, we do take photos at random intervals. And these are, as you saw at the very beginning, these photos are displayed on the certificate. And again, that just gives confidence in the certificate that the person showing you this certificate is the person that actually took the exam. And that's in line with many other tests and exams out there that will put a photo onto the certificate as an extra security, extra bit of security and confidence in the certificate. So that's one side where we use AI, is around the proctoring, the security side, using that face detection technology to ensure that the test is delivered securely. The other side is around the scoring, particularly scoring of productive skills. So this is the speaking test and the writing test. So very briefly, I'll give you an overview of how the speaking test works. People take the core skills speaking test, the core skills test, which is the grammar, vocab, reading and listening test. Once you've completed that then unlocks the speaking test. It also unlocks the writing test, but for purposes today, we'll talk about speaking. And then you're assigned one of three branches of the speaking test, and you can see that you're getting the same kinds of questions in each of these three branches. They're just at slightly different levels. So you get a basic or easy level, which is A2, B1 on the CFR, a mid-level and a high level. So these tests, it's a semi-adaptive test. You could be assigned a low, a mid, or a high branch, but the actual test itself is the same experience, the same number of questions, the same types of questions. That will take around 15 to 20 minutes to complete. And then you need to do some peer grading. So this is where we ask our test takers to listen to other test takers who have taken the speaking test and give feedback on their responses. And I'll talk about why we do that and how we do that in a few moments. And that will take around 10 to 15 minutes. Once you've completed the peer grading, you then get your English score, speaking score. So the whole thing will take around 30 to 25 to 35 minutes to complete the speaking test. So how do we build our scoring model, and where does AI come into this? So there's a sort of a multi-stage process that we go through. The first thing we do when we did this year and a half, 2 years ago now, we collected thousands of test taker responses. So as part of piloting and building and developing the speaking test, we gathered thousands of real test taker responses from around the world. We took all those responses and we asked experts to grade them. We actually asked 2 experts, or in some cases 3 experts, to grade them for pronunciation, fluency, and communication. And we asked them to double mark that because, again, experts don't always agree. So we wanted to have confidence that these thousands of responses that we had collected, we had confidence in the expert rated score. We combined those scores and that gave us our expert speaking score based on those thousands of responses. At the same time, we also wanted to build an English score grading model or scoring model based on those responses. And to do this, we use a combination of AI text scoring and human scoring, and that's that peer grading I mentioned earlier. So if we start with the AI text scoring, we can use technology to score pronunciation and fluency, and technology is really good at scoring these things. So it's able to assess the sounds of the responses and how well they fit English pronunciation models. It's also really good at assessing fluency. So fluency would include things like how frequently you pause, how quickly you speak, how often do you correct yourself. And again, technology does that really, really well, really reliably. It does it very quick. It does it very cheaply, so it's an affordable price, and is able to get you results back within seconds of analyzing it. However, there are some things that technology can't do. Technology is not very good at actually working out, did you do what we asked you to do? Did you answer the question? Is it easily understandable by someone? And that's why we have also an element of human scoring in our model. And the human scoring is mainly on the communication domain. So the communication domain is sort of, did you answer the question and how well can I understand you? And so we take the text scoring, which again is really good at doing sort of assessing pronunciation and fluency, and we take the human scoring on the communication side. And again, that human scoring is peers, so other test takers, and we combine those two to give us our English score grading, which gives us our English score speaking score. And so we went through this process, thousands of responses of both experts grading it and also our AI and human combination scoring. And the end result was we wanted our English score speaking score to be the same as what the experts would give. So we were building our model to kind of replicate what the experts gave. And that was the result of our sort of score model building project, was to ensure that the score that we produce based on AI and humans matched what an expert would give. And that was the result of a project that we went through when we built the speaking test, and is true today. So the score that you get on a speaking test now is what an expert would give, and that was the approach. But we do that through a combination of AI, technology, and human scoring. Obviously, there'll be questions around using peers, using humans and scoring. How do we know that that is reliable and fair and valid? So the first thing to say is that English score is a test of workplace English. And so we want to make sure that we include that in our assessment. So there's this concept of global comprehensibility. Being able to be understood by people when you go into a workplace is a key skill, and we wanted to bring that into our speaking test. So we ask a range of different people. We asked 16 different people in the speaking test to give feedback on one person. So we're not just asking one person to give feedback, we're asking 16 people, and we take all those scores together to come up with our communication skill score. The advantage of using 16 people is that reduces bias. So you're not just asking 1 or 2 people to give feedback, you're asking a large group. Sometimes those people won't be very accurate, or perhaps they're not paying attention, we can identify that and take them out. So we're only using good graders when we calculate your score. The other thing that we do is we ask simple grading questions. So you can see some examples here of what we ask test takers to do. Did they say the last thing they bought was and why? You can see that on the left-hand side. It's a yes or a no question, again, quite simple to answer. The other question we might ask is a 5-star rating question. How well did they do? 1 star, 2 stars, etc. Again, that's quite familiar to test takers. They'll be familiar with that style of question. It's not a very confusing grading process. So that gives us confidence that the combination of AI and humans gives us a really reliable score that matches what experts would give. But the advantage is we're able to do that very, very quickly. So you typically get results for speaking test in around 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, and also means it's affordable. So as I mentioned, you can use the technology to do what it does very well, to get results back very quickly at a low cost. And that means that our test takers, our users, graduates, etc., are getting a reliable and globally respected certificate. So that's sort of a very brief overview of how we use AI in the test. So it's a combination of using AI in the security side, using that front-facing camera to detect or make sure that people are following the test rules, but also using AI to make sure that we don't get item repetition, that if you take the test more than once, you don't see the same items. And secondly, we use the AI technology side of things in our scoring models for speaking and writing to kind of replicate or match what experts would give when they are scoring speaking and writing. So I now sort of open up to any questions you might have.
Good afternoon, Ben Cook, sir.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Dr. K. Chakraparty from Pragati Engineering College. Can I ask a question? Yeah,
sure.
Regarding that, do we have any teacher assistant along with the assessment of this AI-based one? It means the relationship between student and teacher board is available or not?
So I didn't hear the question. So could you say that again?
Sorry, am I audible to you? Is it okay?
Yeah, the audio quality is not great.
Sir, may I request the panel members who are sitting in front of the board, can you please ask me, regarding that, is there any correlation between the dashboard is available, the assessment of the student from the access to the teacher?
Okay, so this is related to the sort of accessing the results.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Well, I'll hand over to Sachin to kind of give details around the dashboard and how that works. But essentially, yes, I think as a teacher, you have access to the results. But I'll hand over to Sachin, who will be more familiar with that side of things.
You can take the mic from here also. Yeah. So, sir, to answer your question, dashboard is certainly available, and the administrators from institution side will have access to all the scores of all the test takers from that particular institute, and we ensure that by using a special code, we call it connect code. We ask the students of a particular institute to enter a particular connect code before starting the test, so that as soon as they are done with it, you will get their scores in your dashboard. For core skills, it will be like results are available almost instantly, And for speaking and writing, it may take up to 24 hours, but in most of the cases, you will get it within 3 to 4 hours.
I have something to add. Just this line. I have something to add to both Ben and Chakrapani. In fact, the dashboard is a very convenient one, which I am now enjoying for the past 1 year. We have been offering 50 assessments. So far, we have consumed some 30, 32 like that. Another 20 we are trying to have them shortly within another 1 month. In fact, the dashboard, which allows us to understand how many of them are on CFR scale, where exactly their score levels are, what are their performances on core skills test, what are their performance of speaking test exclusively. And this dashboard can easily be shared with many in order to give a consolidated picture of what you have offered. Similarly, we from our institution even sharing the same to the placement cell, and in turn placement officer will encash the same or exhibit the same with many stakeholders that he meets. Provided on the dashboard, I also have an experience of seeing at one go all my students' abilities. If at all I find some students who really need some support, I'm offering them again the choice of taking the test, because the test is to be taken multiple times as free as it is. So this is what my experience from dashboard. I think Chakrapani sir, do you understand?
Yeah, Haribabu sir, thank you very much for detail explain. Thank you.
Any next question? Anybody from even outside the house? All right, over to Sachin.
So it seems that we don't have more questions, Ben, for now. And thank you for taking your time joining us early in the morning. Thank you.
No worries. Great to join you. Thank you.
Thank you so much from Lady Institute. Ben, it's your time you have taken, and then you also have helped us. We'll be back again thanking you for giving us an opportunity to work with British Council's English so closely. And we'll be looking forward for the same effort, same support from your side. And from local house, all the participants are finding that you have taken exactly the time that is fixed for you. Thanks for your presence. Anything else that you would also add?
Well, no, again, just thank you for inviting me. Really excited that you are working with British Council English Score, and I hope that we in the future can do sort of more talks like this. It'd be great to talk to you more, learn more about how you're using English Score, just talking about English in general. Very happy to join future events, but yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
Provided we are also discussing since morning in this faculty improvement program, around 30 teachers inside the lab, and then some 70 plus teachers outside from our lab. We are actually coming out with a lot of deliberations. This morning, we were discussing on how mobile assisted language learning that takes place and that supports. Similarly, post your talk, we also had a couple of panel discussions, one lightning talk and panel discussion. If you have some time, kindly be with us.
I would love to, but I do have other meetings I've got to get to. So unfortunately, yeah, I can't stay. I actually have to start driving into the office after we finish here. But thank you for the invitation. Really appreciate that. And I hope it was useful and interesting.
And we would also love to see you in India. If at all you come to India, don't forget us. And this is a remote corner at South India.
Absolutely, absolutely. Always a pleasure to visit India. I've visited many times. I've lost count, probably 20, 25 times. So yeah, big fan. Would love to come and see you all one day.
Thank you so much. And over to the host.
Thank you.
Can you reduce this volume of that microphone? Big microphone.
So now I already have a very big voice, and this is increasing my voice too. You have to bear with my voice. Oh, it is totally reduced now. Maybe the senior technician doesn't like my voice and he reduced completely. Okay, anyways. So I hope each and everyone enjoyed and understood the talk from our Ben sir. It is a pleasure to have such kind of personality with us. I'm again thanking you for being with us. And now let's talk for the something which is important and something which is needed for the hour. And let me give an intro so that you will definitely understand what I'm talking about. Since the turn of the century, much of this world has undergone technologic and also socio-technological change. It's like computers have left the isolated basements of research institutes and also entered people's homes. Like during COVID, everyone's home is filled with mobile phones, online classes, work from homes. And that itself has mentioned very clearly that modern network learning, educational forums like websites like Glassdoor, LinkedIn, these all came into picture. Even the people who are living in these kind of areas also understood and have come to know the importance of all these kinds of websites. And coming to the network-based learning, I do think this is working out a lot in these days. So modern network learning on the educational forums like Glassdoor, why is it focused more? Because Glassdoor is providing complete knowledge about each and every company, though the company is in Singapore or Bangalore, whatsoever the place it is. The person who is sitting in the right corner can understand what is that company all about and how are the people there. And also like underpinned by trusting relationships, also motivated by a sense of shared challenge process and also enabled very convivial technologies. So this is a never-ending talk, I have to say again. So if you pull a point on learning through technology, we also have both pros and cons in it again. So let me invite our moderator, Kasuma, and with her team, or both online and offline, on throwing a light on the topic called the educational foundations of modern networked learning. If I'm not wrong, Kasuma? Thank you so much, and now the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, all the learned community who are since morning, and Ms. or Mrs. Kavya has reduced my work. She has given she has thrown some light on this topic, this modern networked learning. Also, Mahalakshmi also has spoken to us about the combination of both the computers and the mobile. Well, we all know that network learning is nothing but utilizing the technology to connect the individuals, other groups, to transfer the information between the educator and the learner. The learner might be an individual personality, otherwise can be a group. So onto the same common platform. Well, the modern network learning, as she said, yes, we have the closed classroom, we have LinkedIn, we have Telegram pages, we got many other things. But being a moderator, what I feel that more than I say something about it and explain in detail, I feel the team which is given to me, Dr. Sujani Tata, Haikuma sir, Gyana Jyoti, Prasanti ma'am, Regina E, and Dr. M. Satyanangal, and all people who are with us off and on line. I would request that you throw the light onto this, because this is a platform where we all have come, and I guess every one of us have some of the expertise to be discussed, to be shared, as in the beginning we have thought that we are supposed to have some outcome of it and something to take away with us. So I would request the team members on or offline, whoever is available there. I guess Ganjoti is here and Hai sir is here. I mean Hai Kumar. Okay. Anybody else online also would like to throw a line or some flash onto it, some light onto it? What kind of the networked I mean, the premises which you are using in your colleges? Anybody? The participants we have Dr. Sujani Tata, Gyana Jyoti from Delhi, Prashanti ma'am, Regina E, Dr. M. Satyanarayana. Gyana Jyoti, sorry. Yes, thank you. Gyana Jyoti would like to. Oh, good.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. First, I'd like to say that I'm not as experienced as the faculty present here in the room and online, but I will be talking about my experiences in Lendi with modern technology and how it helps in language learning or shaping the students in learning their skills. First, this is my first experience as a teacher or as an assistant professor after my master degree. I didn't know anything while coming here. Okay, this is my first experience. I'm completely new to all the modern technology or language learning platforms. So when I first came in, I thought, okay, teaching is all chalk and board method, because I've been seeing teachers in my family doing the chalk and board method since my childhood. But when I came in, I got the guidance saying that an old school methodology is not enough for this present generation or the present scenario to improve English language. So we've been introduced to few edtech tools, as you all might have known. As for the morning session, you might have known about Flipgrid, quizzes, Padlet, Edpuzzle. All these have shaped students' skills in improving them and remove their inhibitions. Because being this college a semi-urban college, being the students, a lot of rural students coming in to learn language, as you all might have known that they have a lot of fear, a lot of stage fright or inhibitions to talk in front of many people. But this particular edtech tools that we are talking about, for example, quizzes or for example, Flipgrid, these really help them in practicing their language. Maybe the technology didn't like me talking about my experience, but yeah, that's totally fine. I hope I'm audible to everybody. Yes, Jason, yes. Thank you, ma'am. So when the students started talking over a medium, the students were camera shy. Yes, they couldn't really understand the camera because
Just an extra stuff and then use this way. It can be fine like that. Check it out.
Yes, am I audible? Yes. Sorry for the technical glitches. As you all know, modern technology has its advantages and disadvantages. So yeah, as I was saying, the students were camera shy, they didn't want to stand in front of the camera, but modern technology helps in self-learning. And we, ELCS Lab of Lending, always believe in a small phrase called learning by doing. We tend to facilitate students and not train them, but they just learn from their own mistakes. We ask them to do it, see for themselves, learn from their mistakes, and do it again for the perfection. So yeah, as part of my knowledge regarding modern technology, this really helped, I can say, for both students and teachers in developing their skills and to updating themselves to the present generation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jyotsna. That was a very detailed slide you have thrown onto the topic. We have Sujina Tata. Sujini Tata. So Sujini Tata with us online. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Ma'am, would you like to throw any light onto this topic?
Yes, please. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Like this is related to what we have been doing in our college. Like we also have taken a cue from Lendi. I should thank Dr. Haribabu sir for this, where we have in fact visited their college, have seen the practices that they are adopting for their students. And we in turn have incorporated all these changes into our system. So what we did for our students was we have taken Edpuzzle, Flipgrid, Padlet, these, and we have used these excessively for our students to develop speaking skills among them. Edpuzzle, of course, Lendi people haven't used much, I should say, but we have used it very extensively. They were for Flipgrid and we went for Edpuzzle. Of course, we did Flipgrid also now, which is being called as Flip. When we were doing Edpuzzle videos for our students, we went for a variety of videos. We didn't confine ourselves only to TED Talks. What we did was we have taken some movie songs from Telugu and gave questions in English for the students to answer related to that particular video. And the students were very much interested to come and talk regarding this particular clipping. So what we found was to make our sessions interesting, to make the students improve their speaking skills. We adopted that method, and apart from this, we have taken many clippings from English movies. So we have chosen Harry Potter and also some advertisements. So it was a teamwork where we, the Department of English, 14 in number, have contributed. Everybody contributed for this. And that was all about the Edpuzzle activities that we did. And coming to Flipgrid, we have done this Flipgrid activity to a very large extent, in the sense that for the entire first year of students, something around 980 odd students, we made every student to work on Flipgrid. We used to assign them a task in Flipgrid, ask them to speak, record their video and post it. And that is visible to everyone. If at all we want to make it private, we can even, what is it called? For security purposes, we can even make it private also. That also we were able to do for some students. There were certain intrusions as well. But while recording this Flipgrid video and all, we observed certain things. Like there is a chance for the students to write before and read it out. That also we could trace. But anyway, we felt that some good move is important from the students' point of view to make them communicate. So this is really a helpful tool, we felt. And Padlet also we could manage. And apart from this, I made my students work on advertisements in another website. That website, sorry, I'm not recollecting. Just give me a couple of minutes. But before this session ends, I'll get back to you. So we made our students work on that as well. That actually helped them, where they could design their ad, give their caption in that, and post a video also. We made our students do that during orientation program. That worked out for us very well. I will be getting back to you with that website address because it is free of cost and anybody can access it very easily. Yes, this is what we have been doing in our college. And once again, I thank you all for giving me this opportunity to throw some light on the activities that are going at our college. Thank you.
That's wonderful, ma'am. Actually, I mean, the way you guys are putting up and technically and as one of our sirs, Mr. Jaipal sir had to say that 90 students are there in his classroom. So, so the kind of innovative things you people are coming up and putting into practice. So obviously we will be able to control also the students and that's in an interesting way. So that's a beautiful thing. And I would request that the WhatsApp group which Haisa has formed, so you can share in that so that every one of us can be benefited.
Sure, sure. And one more thing, we also did another thing. We have purchased Kahoot and we used to enroll a test every day for all our students.
Yeah.
We conducted nearly 285 tests during the lockdown period for our students. Every day we used to release one test for the student and we did that successfully. It was a grand success, I should say. All the students they used to take. Yeah.
How much did it cost?
It was something around 13,000 odd for us at that time. There was a discount.
Okay.
We purchased that and we could enroll for all the students.
Okay.
Now this year we didn't take it up, but we dumped a lot of material content into that. That was all related to verbal ability. And we every day one test we used to give early in the morning 6 a.m.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. And
Yeah, you're welcome.
questions to ma'am?
Yes, please.
Any questions from any of the members? Anupama ma'am wants to ask a question. Ma'am, can you?
Yes, please. Yeah. Please, Anupama.
Prashanti ma'am?
Ma'am, Anupama, you are not audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
She accidentally raised her hand. Sorry, Sanjini ma'am.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Ma'am, any question comes up, then we'll be in touch with you. Thank you so
Ma'am,
much.
by the way, yes, shall I post that?
Yeah, we'll be grateful.
Tool
Please.
in that? Yes. It is bitable.com. Bitable.com.
Please spell
I'll
it.
post in the chat.
Okay.
I'll post. Okay. Yes,
Yes.
I'll do that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Now we have Prashanti ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, please.
A very good afternoon and very much delighted to be part of this program. I congratulate and heartfelt thanks to Dr. Hari sir and the team for doing extraordinary service, I would say, definitely, because it's all about bringing awareness among all the English teachers about not only in mobile, but when I have been as an external to Lendi, I have learned quite many things from their team. frankly speaking, I have, as the ma'am have rightly pointed out, I also have incorporated few things in my college also. Very recently have come to know, but it is very good for the students to uh, do it, like practice it immediately is what I thought of. So I have started working through online most of the sessions, even though it is, we normally take the practice, regular practice of NSRIT is something like we have a learning management system like LMS platform, where we involve our students to post their role plays, presentation skills, their audio video presentations. These are the normal practices we do. But one thing what I found was is more interesting with Lendi is that like all of the groups with various members, like sir have really made it so good that 3 or 4 resource persons were there to examine them, evaluate them, which makes the students much more stronger enough to look into the curriculum so clearly. Actually, what the problem with language is, students would not take it that seriously. And now this would be a really a great, I would say it's they are the pioneers. I don't know how much they have done it, but it is really good to know about that. And when I started the same with my own team with the various departments, the results are so good. So thanks for that. And as a ma'am and sir and the expert is really speaking about, I wanted to do the Flipgrid or whatever the softwares which are being told. We wanted to incorporate in our institute also, for which I request Lendi team, specifically Dr. Hari sir, to help me out in that. Thank you. It's really a great initiation, I would say, and heartfelt thanks from our end. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. And definitely, Hari sir will take care. And Team Lendi will be always with you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Most welcome, ma'am. Well, anybody else would like to share their experiences, expertise, or pros and cons, what they are, facing in day-to-day classes? Because we all know that mobile phone addiction is one of the instances where technology has affected people's lives adversely. Because with the recent burst of the so-called Androids, iPhones, or any other smart gadgets like the tablets, the cell phone addiction issue has risen to an alarming one. Now you must be wondering how come I'm speaking something contradictory. The reason behind, because we all know the greatest challenge we faculty members face in day-to-day class handling is we feel, as Haisa rightly said, that they do act. The student seems to be very seriously listening to us. Their heads will be straight and their eyes will be looking at us, but I can make a note that their fingers are very, very busy. So the mobile phone must be hiding somewhere and their fingers do work on their mobile. So it's an unfortunate thing. And so this the weakness where the students have, we might call it as a weakness or strength, I do not know. So, but however, it is an addiction. Now, being a teacher, what are we supposed to do? I feel that that weakness we are supposed to take, convert into a strength. And that strength we are supposed to utilize. So that is how, as Mr. Haisa from NVGR has rightly said, we have to divide and rule, and that is how we have to form different groups in the classroom, and where we will have the complete control over to them, because language teaching is really one way it is a boring one, because students feel that from day one I'm studying English and what's big deal about English, I know everything. So we know how much they know. So now it is our role, to pull them into our classroom and to make them really learn what exactly we are looking for. So I want the other members to throw, their experiences onto it. What exactly do they do? What else the Lendi is practicing? Is it possible everywhere to practice? If not, why? If yes, then how? And what exactly you do, if anybody can, please share. Haisa, would you like to throw onto this topic from your expertise? Because everybody cannot be like Haisa, and neither every platform can be like lending. And every college and institution cannot afford the deep lending. So I want a light to be put on.
We both can address. It is no way quite expensive unless you feel it expensive. Can I have hand mic please, please?
Yes.
One of you please. Right here. When you really feel this is burden, it is definitely a burden. Like the one that we have now made it possible just within 20 minutes, how we would complete our lunch and then come back to Ben's presentation. Ben has done exactly in between 2 and 2:30. Similarly, if a language teacher gets ready, putting his own effort in accepting things possibly well with the technology, by not being phobic, by not being prejudiced, it is quite easy. Yes, exactly. For the one who is not able to really deliver from the management side, we have got our own open sources. There are many free of cost. Say you have got 5 quizzes free of cost in Socrative. Though the Socrative is of 25,000 worth per annum, you can make 5 quizzes, always possibly redo it. One quiz you make it today. What is missing by you is little extra effort that you have to make. With that 5 quizzes, Socrative free of cost, if you can use it in your own classroom, you don't require a separate set. Because anyway, today the concept is bring your own device to the class. BYOD. It is already there. People are coming with that. Provided internet is widely available. Say anyway, as Hari has proposed, there are 2 groups, control and then open group. Then the open group can definitely invest things on internet things inside, and then the control group can deliver the content through these 5 quizzes. This is all free of cost, and you need not spend any extra 1 rupee. You need not even bother about the management to come and invest and then allow you to do it. It is your class, you are the master, within the classroom itself, within the 4 walls, where only internet and then gadget is ready, you'll be able to deliver. So this is what my experience and advice.
That's
Maybe
beautiful, because I could remember in 2011 itself, we have used Elgato and Socrative.
Yeah.
So in the form of Excel sheet kind of thing, all the grammar we used to, share to the students and discuss with the students and correct and give the reports. You're right, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we also have Jaipal with us. Jaipal is working in an institution where everything is available. And what exactly his experience when everything is available if the teacher is not ready. Everything is available if the student is not ready. Though it is well said, when the student is ready, master appears. Or similarly, in a place where team of teachers are not willing to take it forward. These definite challenges are available with all of us. But Jaipal, like young teacher, who doesn't really take all of these challenges, and how, as a young teacher, he is going to deal with the problem, he now talks to you.
I already spoke about, like, when my question was asked, my only concern was the human aspect of it, right? You are a human being. At the end of the day, you get tired, right? Once you're physically tired, so the mental aspect of whatever your personality, however motivated you are, you still tend to get a bit slow, right? I'm not right.
You're 100% right.
You're right. So, see, there are a lot of language concepts from the West. We also like all of those concepts. But if you talk about the reality, they are like, let me give my own example. I studied my master's, though I discontinued, I studied my master's MA in DSOL in the UK, right? So there I could observe that my professors were there only once a week to teach one course, right? If you look at the amount of research they can put for teaching that one class, right? And the kind of quality, if you think about the quality of the content that is being delivered, right? It's absolutely out of this world, I should say. It's really good. We can think about a lot of practice sessions that we could conduct over that class, right? We can think about the outcome. We can think about the kind of experiments he could make and all of that. So he has time, right? In India, I don't know, just apologize me if I'm trying to criticize the Indian education system or especially the language.
You're not actually criticizing, you're putting all the facts before the details.
Yeah, it's a discussion.
Right. So what the institutes also expect is they expect us to chew more than to take more than we can actually chew, right? So in my case or in any case, right? So if you have 60 students in a classroom, as a single teacher, do you think you will be able to handle everything? Or do you think what? After all, at the end of the day, you have to see the outcome. Without outcome, if you don't give me something, I will not do so. Right? Without the outcome, if you're not really thinking about the outcome and doing something for the sake of doing, right? What is the use of it? Right? With 60 students, I definitely can ask you this question. Are you satisfied at the end of the day? After each and every class, are you satisfied that I taught all the 60? I catered to the needs of all the 60 students here? No. Right? See, that is the problem here. The institute give us like 60 students or more than that and expect us as English teachers to bring out the best out of those students. And let me tell you one more thing. There's a difference between language acquisition and language learning, right? So learning, you're conscious, and language acquisition, you're not really in a conscious state when you are getting it. But we are actually making them learn, not acquire. They are not infants or babies that were given to us, right? They are coming to us at the age of 18, right? So they should give us some time. 1 year, there's nothing like a crash course in English learning or English speaking or whatever. That's not possible, right? So I usually give this example. For a baby to learn a language, it takes at least 4 years, 5 years, right? To get its grammar correct, to get its vocabulary, pronunciation, everything correct. It takes at least 4 to 5 years, right? And if you when you get your engineering first year student, and you all know their backgrounds, they're like babies in terms of when it comes to the English language. They're babies. And if you see the syllabus, the way it was designed, I'm sorry if I'm taking more time, but if you see the syllabus, English is only taught for 1 year. That is what I mentioned in my thesis as well, right? Second year,
has put up only in first semester, if I'm not wrong. So it's only 1 month, that is not even 6 months we have.
I don't know who's designing this, but at least take some inputs like, don't consider my age, but think about my experiences.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So you're teaching English for 1 year. If you teach a baby for 1 year, maybe it could be Telugu or whatever. If a baby is not exposed to a language, do you think it can learn or acquire a language? No, not possible.
But what the people think is students learn English from day one, from LKG, from UKG, or from first standard. So only we are just polishing in BTech or the graduation. So I do not know how far it is true and what you have to say about it.
So maybe, as teachers of English, it is our responsibility to, influence the people who are designing the syllabus to introduce or to make sure that they are teaching or students are exposed to this language throughout their 4 years of engineering, right? So that is one of my proposals in my thesis, right? 1 year exposure to the language, no, is not going to learn, right? And one more thing, sir, ma'am, 1 hour's exposure to the language, especially the beginners, is not enough, right? A baby learns the language because it's continuously exposed to the language. It produces what it hears, mimics, right? 1 hour, if it just comes, listens to the language and leaves, no use. Right? But that is the point that I'm talking about. When I said like 90 students, I'm unable to do that. You know, it sounds like grievance, but still, it's a concern, right? So you can also tell your institute that, you know, give me a small amount of classroom and just see what I can do. Right? Right now, I have 2 Korean students who can't even understand a bit of English. I've been teaching them for the last 3 months. Right now, they are even in a position to understand phonetic symbols and all of that. Right? As a teacher, I know my potential. I know if given the same kind of scenario situation, right, you can also do the same.
Sorry to interrupt you, because you're coming from Geetham University, and as Hari sir mentioned, it has lots of, I mean, it's very technology friendly. You got all the environment set up. So in what way you're utilizing, and I mean, it would be a question if I'm towards the topic which is given, I would say that technology should make you to deliver the lecture or the kind of inputs what you have, may it be 90 or 900, because we have the technology. So how exactly would you, I mean, differ?
Ma'am, like, you know, I know we have technology there, but you know, that technology would be useful only if I'm teaching a theory class. This is completely practice oriented, right? So for example, I talk about one component that we have out of 18, right? So our syllabus is designed in such a way that we have level 0, level 1 and level 2, right? In each level, we have like 18 components or 18 topics, right? So almost all the topics are, there's nothing like much of theory there. For example, one of the topics is like, you know, introducing official to the peers. So you teach them on board, like, what do you do? What kind of phrases do you use? How do you greet them and all of that? But later, no technology is required. Because this is something, you know, the outcome will be from practice, not with the technology that I have. Right? So that is what again I'm talking about. Right? So if I have to teach a theory class, right, then fine. I have all the equipment. Yeah. But if it is practicals, I don't think so. Like, you know, too much dependency on technology is really required.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Like in theory, how exactly technology is helpful? I certainly don't understand.
Okay, ma'am, I'll tell you. Like for example, you know, I must also thank Corona for this. Before that, I was like a textbook teacher. I used to take my text and you know, like I was also expecting the students to follow the lines that I was reading. Yeah, so I don't know whether they were really following those textbooks or not. Right? And one more thing, you know, as a teacher, I had to memorize all the points. But now, since I have technology and especially that's used for teaching theory, right? What I usually do is in the class, if I have to read out, like say a novel or a poem or some important text, you know, I would just switch on and see here. I should thank Geetham, right? So I have access to internet. Yeah, so I would what I can highlight the line that I'm reading. So I know that they are in line with what I'm teaching them. And one more thing, ma'am, for example, you know, when I teach novels, I also teach MA English students. When I teach them novels, for example, you know, Pride and Prejudice. When I talk about the ball scene, which is like very important scene there, right? So, like I said again, I would switch on the YouTube video.
Yeah.
Right. First, I would give an explanation of how this, you know, how Elizabeth comes, and how Darcy reacts. You know, what kind of a proud personality Darcy is, and I give them a picture, so they start imagining. Right. Then I show them, like, boom, there you go. I play the scene. Right. So that is how I use the technology to make them understand better.
We were not so lucky when we were doing PG and graduation, where we had those facilities. So the students are very, enough lucky. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your inputs.
So thank you very much for giving
great
me
discussion.
Thank you.
No, spontaneously, instantly, whichever comes, that is always true, and that has to be planned, and that is what we could see. Thank you so much. Anybody would like to, have any questions to Mr. Yes.
So, Lakshmi ma'am wants to speak.
Ma'am, we are also grateful in. Okay, that's great. That's great. So, Lakshmi ma'am.
Your talk will be
Yeah,
Ma'am, you
I
are
will be presenting my points in the next session, so I don't think I have a need to talk now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Actually, we want you in the panel discussion, which is with all the experienced persons like you.
Sure.
Ma'am, we are grateful that you are with us today. With ma'am, with due respect, I would request you to, take over. Yes.
Oh, sure, sir. You can use the microphone, which is here.
Ma'am, a second. Lakshmi, ma'am, you are with us.
Yes, I'm very much with you.
Yes.
Yes, sir. You can.
Good afternoon once again, my colleagues. Here, I would like to express my own experience as a teacher, right? And I have listened to the experience of teachers, but I have a different conception in my mind about teaching English. That is what I want to share. Even I want to get your opinions on my conception. And from the beginning of my teaching English, like life of English, made me different. And what I heard is, it is only the privilege of an English teacher can make a class interesting in India. And it is not possible to all the teachers of all sciences. I heard the same. I'm trying my best to make the same. And for that, I want to give an example. That is, when I was doing my PG in Andhra University campus itself, we used to have teachers, professors. And one of them is Professor Jayasri Garu, and Professor Aribab Garu knows her better. And she starts the class and ends the class. We don't even know what time is really going on. 15 minutes vapors like a minute. Not only Jayasri, and many other are there. And then I strongly believe that it depends on the ingenuity of the teacher only to make the students enlightened to understand the language. And it is our and it should be a passion, and it should be a duty to inculcate the passion of understanding the language, learning a language among the students. That is what, sir. The other thing is, the ingenuity means, because I am from a degree college, as I told you, I am from Maharaja's College Autonomous. We are not really equipped with like what you are really equipped. But I am trying always. We have a large number of classes, like 70, 60 and more. We try our best and we make all the students almost attentive. And it's not like exaggerating my skill and all. It is like what I want to really explore on this dais. Because I am privileged to be with you, like experienced people. And as Sir said in the beginning, it is always a teacher, and it is always the method of a board and chalk, and it is the way like in which the teacher expresses all the stories and all. Because I have different stories of Mahabharata from a teacher. He never uses technology, and I'm not against to technology, it is just an aid. Because of our dependent, it is just my opinion, sir and madam. It is just like our dependent of technology makes the teacher better in the classroom. What I have observed. I've been observing, I've been attending the 5Ps, FTPs and all. Most teachers are over cautious or whatever. They are relying on only technology. They're focusing only on the screen, only on the mic, only on the language that he uses, how proficient they are, how best they are, how are they pronouncing all the words. I don't focus more on that, and I'm believing that, but it's really not a fact. Even many teachers are nowadays available. They make every class interesting. I have observed engineering colleges, even universities. Universities are really not equipped with the technology like what we have now, and they are making classes brightly. So for that, sir, what I personally feel is technology is really a kind of thing that should be with our life. But it should not rule us. Yeah. It should not misguide us. It is not actually. Yeah. This is like what, sir? No. Yes, sir. This is really ruling the teachers. What I'm observing, they are simply focusing, like switching on the light ones, switching on the mic ones, and we simply lose our patience, right? Whatever. So for that, sir, this is what I got a privilege to express my views, and I feel many of you accept my conception about teaching English. Thank you.
Beautiful. Well taken, sir. Your conception is well taken.
Thank you, sir. Without technology, you don't do anything, sir. Yes, I accept it. It should be an aid. Just go through the Google, sir. Technology is an aid. Okay. A powerful aid to express and convey our thoughts. It should not be the one.
It is very
So actually, even we are supporting the same point. We are using technology as an aid, which helps the students to learn through it. And we are teachers who have, we are being here to facilitate the students. And definitely, no teacher will completely depend on the technology. Instead, they
I'm not saying that what is happening. As was rightly said, only teachers are focusing on only feedback form. Even I did the same many times. I just say it is really excellent. Alba very excellent. But if not listening to, because I attended a program recently taken by Alba. That is a review. And people are always on mute on. They did not interact with you. But they are commenting every time that you are really excellent, sir. Really great, sir. I found a quote also. You are really great, sir. Your dress is really good. I think sir has said, seen that. And that is what is happening in this case.
Yes.
That's what I want to put.
Yes, in spite of hiccups, no building was constructed so effectively. Similarly, this is not actually a beginning. The technology-aided learning language and supporting structure of language learning or development of language learning is quite interestingly possible, as the student friends are very much excited in taking up new things. For example, same poem, Daffodils, if I teach with all my voice, with all my energy, and saying that when I'm lying vacant, when I recall such a wonderful fluttering daffodils that come into my picture, they cannot actually enjoy the pleasure of itself. Whereas with the aid of technology, if you can show what a daffodil is all about, it took much time for me, being a young boy who has come from a very, very insensible environment. I could not understand what a daffodil in the beginning. And it took much time. But being a teacher, I am able to show what a daffodil is all. How that the quivering sounds of the brood does. I am able to show it on the screen. This is what my intention. You being Nukaraj Garu, your intentions. But at the end, we being teachers wanted to bring such a fantastic environment before the students. Since the environment is an issue, students are coming forward with a lot of what you call influence. Why can't we capture that influence for the benefit of our language teaching? That is only the question. Okay, thank you very much, Nukaraj Garu. Nukaraj sir, and then
even more beautiful reading out 20 lines.
I'm always handsome, sir. Actually, I love to be always quoted that I'm handsome. So I guess it's not a problem sometimes. So luckily I am set like that. Okay. Thank you so much, and then we'll be understanding the pleasure of having the technology aid, as Kavya says, or human approach, as Hari says, or as Nukaraj says, the intellectual property cannot be separated from any of these aids. Such an intellectual property that teachers have obtained. Nukaraj sir's way is no way similar to Madhavi ma'am's way or Kasu ma'am's way or this Hari's way. So each individual teacher has a separate way. Definitely, teacher is the first. Without you, nothing will definitely exist in your classroom. These are all supporting, these are all aiding. If you can take all of them, like how I have one, I'm not actually fitting to have this one, as many of the teachers were senior to me or sitting before me. Still, this is adorned, and I'm looking so good, as you have just now said, I'm looking handsome too. So that is where actually technology supports language teaching. I think you agree with me. All right, Nukaraj sir, let's now get into the next part. And thank you so much to have a wonderful moderator, Madam Tasu, who has raised beautiful discussion on how the educational foundations are made on the built-in structure of technology. All right, or the built-in structure of education, how is it made on the foundations of educational technology, right? I request Kavya ma'am to help.
So till now we had two panel discussions which throw light on technology and its usage, and which is completely focusing on our title called Mobile Assisted Language Teaching and also Learning. So now we have all experienced persons on the panel. So let's all have complete ears on the discussion. Let me invite our Professor Srinivas Babu sir on the dais so that he'll be giving us a brief on the effectiveness of using technology in English language classrooms. So let's get into the very experienced talk now. Srinivas Babu sir.
Very good afternoon, learned colleagues, online and offline. I feel it a privilege to present few views. If you take a language teacher, whatever the experience you have, that is less as far as my words are concerned. It is applicable to language teacher. The other subjects teaching is always different from language, even English literature also. Today we are missing English literature in some of the aspects. That's why this is the current problem. Whenever we are separated from English literature, the problem starts. Language learning, effective language learning is possible through literature. Most of you are the researchers. I am not a doctorate due to some constraints as far as my responsibilities are concerned. I am a scholar of Professor S. Prasanna and also I'm a direct student of Professor Suvarna Lakshmi. And the present topic here is the effectiveness of using technology in English language classrooms altogether, not only mobile assisted learning. Sir, am I right?
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Yes. It's a topic altogether. In this connection, I would like to say one thing, few words as far as my brief presentation is concerned. I would like to ask one question. How many of you love yourself? How many of you love yourself? I want sincere answer.
We love our people.
Okay. Everybody loves Hari sir. That's different. Why? Because nobody is inferior and nobody is superior. Whenever you leave this concept, we can go ahead and we will be the good teachers, especially in teaching profession. We must have self-esteem. We must have self-introspection. For what extent we can teach the students as far as my knowledge is concerned. Sometimes some teachers are excellent in some of the areas, even technology also. If we don't have knowledge regarding technology, we can learn from our peers group, our colleagues. At the same time, I would like to mention one thing. This is one of the important aspects for me. My students are my classmates in my B.Ed course. Even 10th class student is there, intermediate student is there, PG student is there. Even my student is my teacher for philosophy for PhD class. I used to sit in the first row along with 25 students of mine. I was very weak in computer technology, computer science. I used to learn from my students. I did my PGDCA with the inspiration of my students from Central University, Chandigarh. I learned something. So, getting certificates are different from practical knowledge. We can do something. So, we do something by learning by experience, what Dr. Haribabu always says and quotes. At the same time, how many of you understand your emotions? Let me know that. How many of you understand your emotions? Not others. your emotions. It's one of the important questions for us. You try to understand your emotions first. Even sir said feedback forms. I know that. I used to spend 15 hours during Corona for the purpose of attending these seminars. I prepared 5,000 pages notes because it's a passion for me. But attending conference is not a passion today. There are some incentives, some promotions, something like that. So that's why that's happening, sir. No problem, sir. What I can say that. Another point is regarding technology. Just Dr. Hari sir has given explanation to and give answer to Nokraj sir and others. In which way theory is the complement of practical is the complement of theory. Practical is the complement of theory. The same thing is there. We have to add this technology to our teaching. It is inevitable, no doubt at all. We cannot escape from it. So we have to learn it. And if you are good at theory, you must be more effective. What I can say that. At the same time, Robert Frost says one thing. A vocation and vocation are my two eyes. If you love our profession and teaching, definitely we can do miracles with this. At the same time, there are so many apps as far as our convenience is concerned. Many apps are available and free of cost. We can utilize them, but we don't see others. There is one quotation that is, don't be the slaves to others' opinions. Don't be the slaves to other opinions. Whatever you want to do, go ahead. Whenever you present something, don't feel inferior. You cannot go ahead. Because what you learn is simply present. So I don't want to take much time because very good professors are there. We want to listen to them. I want to listen to them. It's very, very important. This platform should be useful. We have to serve the purpose of this particular platform. Now I invite, I would like to mention the panelists. I'm very happy to mention Professor Suvarna Lakshmi Garu, Dr. S. Satyapani Kumari, Professor Shakira Fazula Rahmana, Professor Madhukumar, Professor Ifyoma Vadai, Professor Seema Banu. Let us listen to them. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Suvarna ma'am is also there.
Hello. Professor Suvarna madam, am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, madam. You are very much audible. Academic and namaskar to you first. Because I learned many things from you. When the workshop was conducted by Dr. Haribabu here, he made all the people get aware of technology, madam. Now I request you to give your valuable presentation to us. We want to learn something from you.
Thank you so much. Rather than learning from one person, I think it is always an exchange of ideas and experiences that we have on such platforms. Good afternoon, and I thank Lindy and British Council for giving me this opportunity to meet all of you on this platform and give my experience of technology in language teaching. I always view that all the language learning theories, a couple, now may not be every language learning theory, but many of the language learning theories support technology being embedded in the language classroom and in the language learning process. So the prime reason for that is technology can make our classes very inclusive. A slow learner is equally taken into consideration when compared to a fast learner. A learner who has different interests and different patterns and styles of learning, or has different strategies of learning, also has place to exhibit his or her talent and skill and learning style if it is technology embedded classroom. So that way technology has made classes very inclusive. I might sound very theoretical, but that is not the case when I speak. As most of you know, I speak from my experience. With pandemic, when technology was slowly creeping into our classrooms, only as a small aid, where 90, 80, 70% of our classes were primarily with human intervention, teachers intervening, and technology having some place in the form of material. We take a video, play to the student. We take them into the labs, make them listen to certain things, watch certain things, and yeah, that is how technology has crept into our classrooms. We started using PowerPoint presentations in our classes to make it more visually impacting the students' learning process and all. But with pandemic, we are suddenly pushed onto the screen, started teaching, and we were forced to learn so many things, and we did. That is where we understand that there are many more challenges than talking about just one tool, one aspect of learning tools and using in the class is just one aspect of using technology in the classroom. But the other thing is how equipped or how trained are the teachers to use these tools. This has become a major challenge. Apart from that, like say, if I were to walk into the class thinking that the class has facility to embed hybrid mode of teaching, I find nothing in the classroom. What do I do? For example, I was asked to take a workshop in one of the government degree colleges where people wanted, some of the teachers wanted to join online, and some of the teachers, like we are doing at present, the hybrid mode. If the camera is not ready and it is only online Google Meet that is given to the student, to the other participants, what does the resource person do there? I was really helpless. I couldn't meet the expectations of both the groups, one online and one offline. So is it just the tech savvy of the teachers, the training that the teacher requires, or is it also the gadgets that are required for us to really get into this is a major question. I don't know, like one of our persons, Jaypal, if I'm right, he was talking about his experience of how theory can go into the classroom only as teacher intervention. But there are almost all across the country, the SCRTs have converted their textbooks into ESAT based classes, where any remote student can access that and start learning, being autonomous in the process. So how do you account for that? There are students who learn, who hardly have classrooms, who hardly have teachers, who hardly have schools even, but still are able to get educated. Now, these are some cases, and the possibilities of technology enabling learning even in remote places. This is one example we have. Are we really sure of what goals we have for instruction when we start teaching? Now, many of us talk about, yeah, our students have to be placed. What does placement require? There is an industry requirement, and there is academia that does not meet the industry requirements. And so we need to intervene. We need to pull both the strings together. We are the men. No, that's not the case. It is technology that can help us actually pull the strings together. Technology helps us get access to industry. Technology helps us make our students access learning beyond teacher's classroom. It is not just the teacher. One of the arguments is that they have very less exposure to English. Now, with technology, they have 24/7 access to English. So it's not just the teacher, it is not just you and me teaching in the class, and through you and me, the students are learning. They have numerous sources to learn language, and that is brought through technology. If our goals are very clear of what you want to give as input to the student, if our assessment of the students, where they are at present and what else do they need as input, if we are aware of the affective domain of the student, how well we can train them, give this human intervention as prominent input to the student, what exactly can turn the student to be a better person, a better learner, a better industry-ready employee, or even a better entrepreneur. Whatever we want to make are our goals to give inputs clear. If that is made very, very clear, evident for all of us when we walk into the classrooms, to our students as well, share with the students that this is the intention of giving you this class, it becomes a transparent process of teaching and learning. And that makes everything more convenient. For this, most of the times we also talk about the curriculum not meeting the expectations of the students. Neither the students nor the teachers are very happy with the curriculum. Very true. It's not one. It's not JNTU, Kakinada, JNTU, Hyderabad. It's not any other university that is giving. It is AICTE, which is dictating all the engineering colleges in the country, all technological universities in the country, saying that English can be taught only for one semester. And another semester, you only can give it in the form of a lab and then leave them. The reason for it, English is already there in their curriculum for more than 12 years. For more than 10 years, English teachers have been teaching language. Teaching and teaching and teaching language. So what else do you have more to give to the students is the attitude of AICTE. Now, you and I might be in the ground level facing the realities, but the overall view is that the students are already taught for so many years English. And so they need more of other inputs rather than language input is the idea. But language is a tool, as Dr. Hari was mentioning in the beginning. Language is a tool. The basic system of learning itself happens through language and communication is something that is forgotten. So there is no blame game here. But what best we can do is what we are supposed to do. You have a 90-student class and still your class can cater to all the students. Once you give an assignment, say a simple task on Padlet, and you are able to give responses to it, a simple task, a Google form to be filled in listening to a particular listening audio text and respond to you. An open-ended question, you make some time to go through at least peripheral look and give a grade, give a feedback in just 2-3 words. Needn't be essays again for the teacher to do it. And 90 students you ensure that they do, and who are missing, you do it on Google Classroom. It's very clear who did the assignment, who did not do the assignment, who submitted late and who submitted at what time. And what is your response to the assignment is very easy. So such kind of conveniences we have because of using technology. And of course, we are talking about screen time and the students' addiction to mobile and mobile technology. But how much are we being able to, we as teachers, how many of us forget our mobiles for more than 2 hours and stay away from mobile usage or looking at any kind of screen at all? Our lives are embedded with technology. You are inseparable from technology. You do not say that you are dependent on it or you are independent of it. It is not the question of dependency. It is a question of how much it is part of our lives. Like I do not get a call, a video call. I do not see my daughter for say 2-3 days. I start panicking. Isn't that dependent on technology? And why do we blame just our students saying that they are with technology, they are with mobiles, they are with... No, it is We have made it. We actually force technology on them so much that the screens are part of their lives now. Because it is convenient when pandemic is there, all of us wanted students to use mobile, and now it is convenient for us to go online. You can't bring them out of that usage. Think of things from their end as well. They get used to so many things during these 2 years and 2 crucial years of their lives. Because they start depending on it, they start communicating with it, they start living with mobiles. Now suddenly you can't creep into their lives and take it away and see how they really struggle to make living. So let us cope with all these issues and look forward to how we can train ourselves to better equip ourselves with technology. And what other aspects that cannot be in our control are the peripheral aspects, the money aspect of using any of the tools, the money aspect, getting any gadget into our teaching, and so many other aspects that are embedded into using technology is something that we have been living with during the pandemic and after the pandemic as well. And now we are going to live with all these hereafter, which is part of our teaching life, our careers. So let's move ahead using technology in a better progressive manner. And I hope all of you become more tech savvy in the process. That's all I wish. All the very best. Thank you for giving me this opportunity once again.
Thank you very much, madam, for your cool presentation. It's a very cool presentation, and you have given many inputs which are useful to teachers, and they have removed some notions among the people regarding technology with your presentation, because you are well experienced with it. No doubt at all, you have given many, you have participated in many workshops and have made aware of technology. In which way, better way we use technology to reach the especially target of the students. At the same time, you have mentioned one important point: no blame game. It's a very, very valid statement, madam. Definitely, we can use the technology in a better way, and we will get equipped with this. And we must be very much thankful to pandemic, because before pandemic, we didn't know how to use technology. We were well versed of the advent of the particular thing, and we must be thankful to them. And there is a saying in Telugu, "Edaina mana manchi kosame konni sandarbhalu upayogistuntam." So it is applicable as far as my observation is concerned. Thank you very much with your presence. Please be with us and offer your blessing to us until the end of the session. Thank you very much, madam.
Sure, sir. I'll be there.
Thank you, madam. Let me invite Professor Venkatamana, sir. Are you there? Fani Kumari, madam. Are you there? And let me invite Professor Madhukumar from Sivari Engineering College, Srikakulam. Please give your valuable input to us.
To everybody in the panel. Am I audible to you?
There is a little bit of disturbance. I think there may be some technical issues from your side.
Mr. Srinivas Babu, am I audible to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is some humming sound.
You please.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Once again, good afternoon to everybody.
Hello, sir. Hello.
I'm
mute your mic.
Madhukumar, sir, I think you have logged in from 2 different gadgets. Maybe one of them has to be muted. Please try.
Pardon?
Sir, I am audible, sir.
Yeah. Yes, you are audible.
Please, sir.
Am I not audible?
Am I visible, sir?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Sir,
once again, good afternoon to all the members in the panel, and of course, the gentlemen and ladies who have participated in this wonderful session. And I'm Madhukumar, head of the section of Humanities and Basic Sciences of Sri Shivani College of Engineering, Chilakapalam, Srikakulam. It's a wonderful topic. Today, I would like to tell you one experience, one personal experience. First of all, when I was a student, I'm talking around 75, if I'm not wrong. I was studying in the first standard. My great teacher, Mr. Krishnadas, who was still there, he is 86 years old gentleman. He used to teach us in the classroom. The classroom, there was a slate, and of course, now what we have been learning, abacus system, I think, if I'm not wrong. He used to move one particular ball from left to right. Then he started writing on the board 1. Then he asked me, what was it? It was 1, sir. So why I'm telling this? Because when you go through practically anything, definitely we can inspire the students. That's what my personal experience. Even today, why I can speak something with best of my knowledge, in particular English, it is because of listening to this commentary, particularly in radio. Of course, maybe it is audio, but all these things naturally will have a lot of influence on each and everyone. The same in the case of today, in technology also that we have been using, as Srinivas Babu well said, because of this pandemic, we have been almost transmitted to this technology. It is 100% very nice, and I suppose I definitely welcome this particular system, this technology in the classrooms, particularly language teaching. As many people feel, many students naturally feel that it is tough to speak, to learn, particularly the language of English. But when we ask them to practice through this kind of gadgets, as it is a mobile or laptop or desktop, whatever it may be, and asking them to listen, go through this particular certain videos or audios, then definitely they can listen, they can learn. In turn, they habituate to practice. That make them definitely a good speaker. As Madam said, that it is with entrepreneurs also, and they can make their lives better, because today most of the almost sectors we have been looking at, particularly IT sector. If you take computer science and engineering, most of the students are very much interested to take this particular branch, computer science and IT or A&ML, whatever may be that, because they want to indulge in IT sector. After getting this particular jobs in IT sector, how they would have to flourish? Only because of this particular language, because sometimes they need to go to outside, not only in particular India, even though in India also, they need to interact with many more people there, their officers or their colleagues or some other people. Because simple example I can tell you, even if we travel in a train, for example, from Srikakulam Road to Hyderabad, I cannot travel alone without talking, without speaking with others. Because even if I want just a water bottle from my fellow passenger, probably he is from Odisha or from Bengal, some other, I need to speak with him no other way, only in the language of English, because I don't know Bengali, he doesn't know Telugu. So via media, we must know the same what I used to, and I have been telling my students in the classroom that you must have to listen to many more videos of the great personalities, or even students also, because we have some videos in our lab, English lab. We have some wonderful students. They have been listening to all these kinds of videos of experts or some senior students, and they really grasp this kind of knowledge from them. So what my idea is, only because of this technology, either through mobile or laptop or whatever may be that media, whatever may be that, they are getting some knowledge, and I suppose it, and I definitely, even today, state governments also encouraging right from 8th class. Right from 8th class, they have been giving some tabs, and through some, what is that, Byju's or some app is there. Why? Only to introduce a kind of technological ideas to the students so that they can learn, they can go through it deeply and they can learn. So I don't want to take much of all these people's valuable time. So this is my particular idea, and this is a wonderful platform to learn many more things. Thank you very much to all the organizers, including Dr. Haribabu and my friend, Mr. A.S. Babu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madhukumar, for your presentation. So as we know that experience is the best teacher. There is play, we have to count it. So what kind of experience you had, you mentioned here. Thank you very much, sir. Let me invite Professor Panikumari, madam. Madam, are you there? Professor Panikumari, madam. Hello. Professor Panikumari, madam. Okay. Venkatramana, sir, are you there? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Venkatramana, sir, am I audible?
Srinivas Babu, sir, please tell me, sir.
Yes, yes. Okay, go ahead.
Am I audible,
Give you your elaborations. Venkatramana, sir.
Sir, please tell me, sir.
Yes, yes. Go ahead. Do you have any technical issues? Unmute yourself and present the things. Okay. And my dear colleagues, do you have any questions to Professor Savan, Lakshmi Managar and Madhukumar? Do you have any questions? You are free to ask.
Or from local side.
Do we expect any questions from this conference hall?
Okay.
Thank you, madam. That's Madhukumar for your wonderful presentations and deliberations regarding technology. Madam has said technology has stepped into our classroom. She has mentioned many valuable statements. We have to take them into consideration, and we think a while. We should have self-introspection. What is the need of the hour, and how can we cater the needs of the students? That's very, very important. And we do exercise, just like practice makes man perfect. We do exercise until we get contentment and fulfill our dreams to give different shapes to the students. It is the need of the hour. Whether the student intelligent or not intelligent, we cannot judge. We try to play the role of a potter. In whichever potter has to give a shape to the shapeless clay, we have to play that role. That's the role of the teacher. I continuously mention this one as far as my experience is concerned. So with this, I conclude. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Let me thank Dr. Haribabu and his team. They have done wonderful work. They have completed all the panel sessions successfully from inaugural session to the present. Thank you very much. With this, I conclude this one.
Thank you so much, Professor Srinivas. And we have now the last part of the event. Since morning, we have been working on how this mobile assisted language learning that takes place with the help of mobile. And quite after the new changes have come, slowly computers are replaced with mobility. And then mobile, how is it used? Since morning, we have been discussing, there are a lot of deliberations, and last but not actually the least, the senior teachers' opinion sharing. As part of the whole discussion, there were a lot of deliberations that took place, and thanks to have a wonderful perception for these teachers to have both technology and human support language learning is always effective. And there are worth to mention, these teachers have reminded of their earlier teachers, and then they do not deny the modern approach. And special thanks to Suvarna Lakshmi ma'am from English and Foreign Languages University, who has taken extra time. And we would also love to have her there in the inaugural session. It is to be, valedictory session. It is to be starting within another 2 to 5 minutes. We are waiting for our chairperson to come and join us. And shortly we'll be over live. Meanwhile, I request, there are participants from Venkatramana sir is from Sri Vasavi Engineering Institute, and then Madhu Kumar, Murali is from Dadi Institute, who would love to add their remarks. We request you to come online, and then you can put your video on, and then please give your opinions on this. And anybody else in the fold? Yeah, Venkatramana sir is there.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How are you, sir?
Fine, fine. We are doing great. Can we put Venkatramana sir on spotlight? Please, sir. We missed you, sir? Right, okay. Thank you. You're on the screen at last. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes. Visible also, sir.
Yes, sir. I have been listening to your FDP, faculty development program, on one side. On the other hand, correcting papers. Actually, we got our mid papers just today. I've been doing both the things, simultaneously. This program has gone very well, sir. But I have worked with Lindy for about 3 years. I learned many great things, how to use different edtech tools, especially to make our students' learning more interesting and collaborative. These are the practices. Even here, we have been practicing the same thing that we have followed at Lindy. And some tools actually fructify. Some have their advantages, both advantages and disadvantages as well. But when advantages outweigh the disadvantages, we have to consider the product. So we consider the advantages of the product. Actually, we have been going through different edtech tools like Kahoot, Flipgrid, Edpuzzle, and Socrative quizzes, and even something that is Chat GPT. So that is a recent invention. One has to follow. This GPT, Chat GPT gives everything that we want. All we have to do is to type the question in the search box. It gives you immediate response. I have checked it once, that it has been giving a lot of good information. Like that, there are many good inventions coming into the market today. We should not deny that. As one ma'am just talked about the importance of technology and the integration of technology into traditional teaching. It is undeniable. Because students love to use technology today. We cannot say that we don't want to use it for students. Then we have organized a program here at Vasavi, titled Fly High program for the students who stay in hostel. Our business is to make them speak in English across the campus. Their business is to speak to everybody, whosoever, even they speak in Telugu, these people have to speak to them in English. So as a startup, we have started this program this year. for them as well, we have been using these tech tools. Apart from that, other than the practices that we have undertaken at Lindy, we have a few more things for advertisements and movie clippings. So both ICT and EdTech tools, these two things are very good things, and I know they come good, especially when we are in the classroom. Generally, we know that this generation, as Hari sir usually talked about this generation as millennial group, which actually doesn't want to listen to us for long. If we keep on lecturing them for about 1 hour, maybe after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it might send them to sleep. Therefore, we have to use technology if they like. And the best thing to make them use mobile is that most of the students might not know how to use well, especially their mobile phones, how to use their mobile phones well. Our business is to make them use their mobile phones effectively, because we have to make our students know that these mobiles are used productively. So that is what we have done even at Lindy. We gave them different tasks asynchronously and sometimes synchronously in the campus as well. For that matter, I have produced a couple of papers on these tech tools as part of my research. Actually, my idea ripened upon the practices that I have undertaken at Lindy. I must thank Hari sir for this. In the beginning, as he must have told you that in the beginning, I was averse to using technology, but I came to understanding that using technology was mandatory. Therefore, I got used to using this technology just after 1 year since I joined over there. After I joined there, then I looked no further, especially in using this technology. The same thing is happening even at Vasavi. Ma'am, Dr. Sujini has already talked about the practices that we have been undertaking here as well. I don't think that there is anything left for me to talk about these tech tools. Whichever program that Hari sir has undertaken so far has been a tremendous success. This is no exception. This program is no exception. We worked with, I worked with Hari sir. I cannot forget those days. We fought like cats and dogs in the beginning, but here and there we learned many good things as well out of that fight. Those fights were not to the finish. I used to agree after some time, he used to enlighten us with those practices. In the beginning, we used to oppose him, but later on, we came to know that the importance of these tech tools. Even the people of Vasavi once visited Lindy when I was there, just after I was being selected for Vasavi. These people, the team English from Vasavi, visited Lindy. They enjoyed listening to many good lectures, given by Hari sir, especially with regard to this technology. So the same thing has been practiced here as well on a later date. Anyway, thank you very much, sir, because I have taken much of your time. Might be understandable to all the participants who are very good at delivering their language. But then the moment we add technology to our language, trust me, it will definitely fructify, and the students would love to listen to us. Even Cambridge Write and Improve is one more interesting thing that I have practiced at Lindy. The same thing has been followed here as well, particularly for writing, speaking. For speaking, there is Padlet. Even for that matter, Padlet is used for speaking, writing, for everything. Flipgrid is one more interesting tech tool. For everything, there is one interesting tech tool. Let us not give any of our misgivings to this particular EdTech tool. We should not give our sense of doubt when we use that, because they have their own advantages. No invention might have no invention would not be there if we really considered the disadvantages of the product. One scientist said long back. Therefore, we have to consider the advantages. Hopefully, all the fraternity of mind here and over there as well. Would consider the advantages. Thank you very much, sir. I'm using up your time. Thank you very much.
You are the better resource for. You are the better resource for.
Sir, I cannot hear you properly.
Yeah. Now you can hear me. Is it
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. From your side, there
Yes.
is internet bandwidth.
Yes, sir. Now I can hear.
We have got Professor
Yes,
Raju from MR PC College, who has proposed.
Okay.
There is a typical difficulty in EdTech tools usage. But you are the right resource because you are working out your PhD on the use of EdTech tools in English language classroom. You have also brought in a lot of ideas, and then you were in your talks presenting that it is not actually the EdTech tool, how a human being is able to use that EdTech tool for the benefit of language development. That point really I appreciate, and I hope you can bring a lot of.
Sir, there is a saying, sir. When there is a saying, sir, when man cannot control, machine does. You don't believe that we used FlipKit over there?
Yes. Yes, exactly. We understand that the man must not be a slave for a machine that he has prepared for his own comfort. So definitely the same story with us, particularly in language development and language teaching. And I now call upon Mr. Venkat Murali online if at all you are available. If not, I was just waiting to listen from Mr. Satish from Seetham Engineering College. I wanted your inputs. I don't think Murali is ready. Okay, Murali, you are on mute. You are on mute. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah. Hari, thank you for the opportunity. In fact, recently I published a paper on the same topic, and today I got more information to concentrate on continuing further studies on this line. And even we would like to associate ourselves with the British Council for enhancing our student skills. Sir, in fact, I might have missed out a few things in between because of the academic works, but still I do believe that today we had a wonderful session. I hope Lendi continues to support the English faculty in these regards in future as well. Thank you.
That's great hearing from you, Murali, even if it is short, quite sweet, and you have appreciated us and will be going forward. And now I request Dr. Ravi CH to give away his inputs. Meanwhile, our chairperson joins, and then we'll start for valedictory. And I also announce all the online participants, you'll be given a feedback link before 6 evening, maybe before the end of this event on the chat window. You'll be asked to reply your feedback on the session, and post that you'll be getting certificates. And since you are online on hybrid mode, you'll be getting only a participation certificate. Whereas the offline buddies, all of them who are really struggling since morning for the benefit of you to have beneficiaries. We have got British Council certificate also as the second master promise to be given. Thank you. Ravi sir, camera on, Ravi sir.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Just when we look at the title, Mobile Assisted English Language Learning. Earlier it was Computer Assisted Language Learning. Whatever it may be, as the technology is growing, there is a paradigm shift from computer to mobile. So the student has a mobile in his hand. I always say to the students that the world is in your hands. It lies in your hands how to use it. So technology is for our improvement. That's why whatever good things are there, I always advise the students to go to search and try to equip themselves by using the technology. This is how this faculty improvement program gives a chance for us to share our wonderful thoughts, how technology is useful for us to develop teachers to enrich knowledge, and how to teach the students using the same technology to settle in their lives. This is how I have understood the topic, and I once again thank Haribabu sir and my college management and principal to relieve me for this, to attend the program. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We'll be very happy to have you since morning. Even after you are on a special dress, you were hesitant to come down, but you are with us and you have taken it forward. We are very much happy to have you. Always, you are the source of inspiration for the district of Vizianagaram. How you have made your PhD degree well in advance. You were a gold medalist by then. I will remember while I was receiving the acclamations from Andhra University's Vice Chancellor those days. Those are all fresh memories in my mind, and I'm very happy to have a teacher friend like Dr. C.H. Ravi. Thank you. And now, one wonderful gentleman who I miss, I should not miss, Karun Sala. We request you to go to the dais, and then we wanted your inputs.
Good evening, all. Good evening, all. It's a pleasure.
Srinivas, reduce the volume of 5. Go and reduce the volume of 5. You're playing with us.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. It's a wonderful opportunity to be among with such intellectuals with good knowledge. And of course, I could get some kind of inputs from all of you, especially when you people are talking about your experiential use of classroom. That's what we need. Experiential use in the sense, actually, there were many theories which we put into practice. There were some practical lessons. And of course, student might not get interested when he's listening to a theoretical lesson. And we need a practical approach towards learning. And that's what you people are trying to tell us. And of course, I could learn from all of this. This is a wonderful session for me. And I would like to be part once again to be in this program. Once again, if at all you conduct, once again, I will be so glad to be in this, sir. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And we have microphone here before our chairperson comes. Definitely he gives a feedback, but we wanted his inputs. Gopal Krishna.
Thank you, sir, for handing out the mic to me. Good evening, all of you. And I'm Gopal Krishna from Syllabus Engineering College. And today I come to know that I'm an English faculty. Rest of the days I am busy with other works, mobile, but take the FRS attendance, not for language acquisition, taking any other works related to mobile. But today I realized that I'm an English teacher, and at home also, our traditional learning, I used to ask my son to recite a sloka from Purushottam. He opens mobile and watching YouTube. Don't stop dancing, that's not one thing. He recites. And from today onwards, I turn my children to mall and listening to useful, educated related topics. Thank you for giving this opportunity, and thank you all very much.
Thank you, sir.
Officer, you were continuously asking all the male persons, and you are showing your domination. Why can't I ask the people here?
Thanks for adding.
Thank you everyone here for giving me an opportunity to give my feedback.
Feedback is reserved, man.
Sorry, sir. I have already told you that I am from MR Autonomous. So Hari sir has listed as a person for FSP. And there, he also knows we don't have this language lab and like this. And we are very unfortunate that they are not doing much to students from the side of English. But today I came to know a lot of things that we can do a lot if we also have the facility of a language lab and all these technologies. And we are going to present this before our principal sir to establish an English lab for us. Thank you very much for giving this.
So, you have it's over. It's over. We are waiting for you. All the discussions went on very well. Ended up.
So, like after listening to everyone, I felt like gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul, and I understood that it is happening all over. Every celebration is an experience that eternal fades away, and the eternal lingers and echoes in the most depth of our hearts. And that is what's happening here, if I'm not wrong. And we are reminded that events like this one are milestones on the journey of life and reminders of God's fidelity all through. I do believe this is going to be as a mark for all of us, and let's hope for these kind of events more and more. And to add to this, let me invite our beloved principal sir to just give our end remarks on the whole day and whole session. And I would like to listen to him.
Some feedback from participants. Otherwise, the morning I appeared here. Now again,
yeah, it's better. So it's better. We can start
it between after listening from participants. I can speak few words. My throat is also not comfortable.
Okay, sir.
So, some feedback.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. And may we have the AS officer?
It's not AS officer.
Maybe with love, I call him with that.
Thank you. Thank you. I thank Principal Sir, Sachin Sir, and Arbabu Sir, and all learned colleagues, offline and online. It's a wonderful platform created by Lending Institute, especially Department of English. This kind of platforms are very essential for the teachers. There must be brainstorming. At the same time, we know one another on this type of platforms. Especially today, we must be well equipped with technology. The so-called people, they came forward and they have given their own deliberations. If we accept only one person, there is no question of discussion. If it differs, then only there will be a fruitful discussion as far as my observation is concerned. Because we can find some questions, and we can find some answers. So, question and answer is a combination, problem and solution is a combination, you know very well. What I have been observing since the beginning of planning of this particular platform, I am always thankful to Lending Institute because I have found teamwork, sir. That's very, very important for getting fruitful results. There is a continuous follow-up, and not only from the side of the teachers, from the side of the students. Our teachers have been preparing the students how to move in the society. Today, student is disconnected with the society. They are only confined to the textbooks. Whatever maybe the content is there in the textbook, simply they get by heart and they get marks. There are marks without remarks. That's the problem. There is no question of finding practical applications. We train them, but what is the output? That's the question mark today. Only a few colleges and few teachers can do justification to the students. That is not called justification. They proved themselves that they are the right persons as far as stakeholders are concerned. I observed not only here, with your permission, I can submit one thing, where there is a participation from the side of Lending. Very recently, I visited Raghu Engineering College as one of the jury members and MR College as one of the jury members. I observed that there is a spark among the students, though this institution is located in remote area. No doubt at all. It's not a metropolitan city, what I can say. So that depends on the leaders. Teacher is a leader. Teacher is a facilitator. A teacher is must not be. You can say that he has to play a multifaceted. He is a multifaceted personality, especially that credit goes to teacher only. So with this, I conclude. I would like to give a chance to others to express their feedback. They want to give their feedback. So you are very fortunate to have such teachers, sir. What I can say that we can expect more and more fruitful results from this institution. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. I am S. Srinivas Babu, Principal of Mustara Degree College and member of Board of Studies, Dr. B. Ambedkar University, Chicago. Thank you, sir.
Pleasure to listen from you, sir. Thank you so much. And why can't we hear from Santosha ma'am, if I'm not wrong?
Suvarna ma'am has raised her hand.
Suvarna ma'am?
Because she has some time.
Sure, sure. Suvarna Lakshmi ma'am?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you for being on the board, ma'am. We would love to listen to you.
I'm so happy. Like I requested all my students to register for this particular FTP or FIP, whatever you would like to call it as, because I believe Lendi College has been the pioneer in this area. When it was pandemic, Lendi was the first one to think about training teachers. Think about not just Lendi being the first one to do it, but training other team members, the English fraternity, and moving forward to equip ourselves teaching online. And that is a wonderful step. On top of it, I should appreciate Lendi again to take this one step forward by making hybrid mode of training program and making it possible for people across the world listen to what we are doing in India. And that is a real good making forward because Indian voice is not most of the times heard by the rest of the world. Primarily because we are not into much of publications, we are not into much of writing and all. Not because we do not know, not because we cannot, but because we are not given that time. As one of the presenters today also was talking about, one faculty member taking one class a week is something which is beyond our thinking even. Including faculty members who generally, all of us have an opinion that university faculty will be relatively free. No, that is not the case. I work for almost 28 to 30 hours a week on paper itself. So with the kind of crunch we have for time, but still when we are able to squeeze some time to be part of such kind of programs, learning and moving forward. And if Lendi is giving that opportunity, there is nothing like that. I really appreciate the leadership quality of the institution and particularly Dr. Haribabu for it. I appreciate all the faculty members who participated so well in the whole program. Thank you so much and all the very best. Thank you for making me part of this program. Thank you.
It's our pleasure to listen to you, Suvarna Lakshmi ma'am. Thank you for being with us the whole day. Thank you.
Thank you. It's not me alone. 75 to 80 of our students are part of it. Though they didn't log in separately, you might see only 30, 40 participants seeing here. But we logged in with BADFLU ID. We didn't have the camera, so we did it together. All the students sitting in one classroom and getting to listen to and watch the whole of the program.
That is really a great honor to know about this, ma'am. Thank you so much for making this FIP a part of this.
Thank you.
Looking forward to have a wonderful initiations from your side also, ma'am. Always you are on the forefront in guiding so many of English language teachers from these 3 districts earlier. And we also would love to see the same spirit to be continued on English and foreign languages varsity. And most of my young teachers are also registering the courses on BFLU. And we would love to see that Suvarna ma'am has to train all of us.
Thank you so much for your trust in me, sir. I surely will continue that.
Great.
Thanks to all the participants here, and thank you, British Council, for enabling all the teachers in that particular area who are not much exposed to the rest of the world, but still struggle to meet the ends in many ways. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Great hearing from you, ma'am. And now let's get into the next participant.
Yes. So as a moderator, we have heard from Kasu ma'am. Let us listen to her experience now.
Hello. First and foremost, hello. First and foremost, I would like to thank Lakshmi ma'am, because always when I hear her, it's so cool, so warm. I mean, English faculty means a kind of a different picture we have, but madam is the real example how a teacher has to be. The kind of affection which reflects in her voice itself make us I mean, spellbounded, and ma'am, we are very, very thankful that you were with us today. Now, I would like to thank the management of Lendi Engineering College for giving me this opportunity. I'm honored and I'm pleased with the principal, sir, Mr. Rama Reddy, sir, with whom I did work in 2015 here. Kai Babu, sir, who is the I mean, he doesn't need any words to be said. I mean, he is on and above, and the team lady, and all the my co-participants, Srinivas sir, Rais, and all the other members of my own. And I also equally thank Sachin Kumar sir for enlightening us regarding the Cambridge English and the other apps what they do use. I feel it is a great platform which has, I mean, this kind of platforms are supposed to be taken very eventually, despite of the tight schedule what we people have. So the kind of essence what it has reflected towards technology, which Srinivas Babu sir rightly said that it has to be both pros and cons are supposed to be discussed, and then only we'll come to know what exactly is apt for us and how exactly we are supposed to develop in our arenas. Because many a times we feel that what we are doing is enough, or we are doing much more. But unless until such kind of platforms will come, we cannot introspect ourselves, or maybe our institutions, maybe the teaching style that we are putting up. So I'm very grateful that this opportunity is being given. So there is a lot of things to be carried away, and we are looking for such many programs to be held by a Lendi team. So I'm always thankful to each and everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kasu ma'am. And now let me ask Jaypal sir regarding his experience today.
No problem. Let him come. Please come here. I wanted to show you on this big screen.
Thank you very much, Haribabu sir, and especially the team. And what I think it's so special about this event is that teachers coming here and sharing their experiences and talking to us, talking through the way they use their apps, and talking about the outcomes and all. I felt that is something special, right? So this is an enriching experience for me. And maybe tomorrow, going to the class, I think I'll also do the same. And I'm also eagerly looking forward to download the apps that you've shared. Thank you very much. And also I thank the students who worked along with you. They are not here, but wish you a happy learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now may I request Mary ma'am to please share her experience with us.
Why are you requesting that?
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, all of you. Actually, to say the fact, it is not a learning process, whatever we had today. It was an awakening process. And it was like a revival, so that once we revive ourselves, only we can put forward what we have learned already. We have in us, but we were not putting forward. See, learning technology, we always have this. We all use mobiles, we use technology. But the only thing is, we just forget that we can use that in the sessions or in the classrooms. So I feel today it was my great privilege that I participated here. And it was like an awakening classes. I don't know if this was for you, but it was surely for me a revival class and an awakening so that I can revive myself again and get back to it. I still remember, like, when I was working with Maldives, I was doing with my students with all this, using all my apps, learning them to do it. And I was working with the different institutions and I was with them. At present, I'm working with the Hotel Management and Business Management College, where I skipped all this. So I thank one and all, and especially for the Lendi team. It was a great work and a great hospitality as you promised. A great applause for you all, and thank you all.
Maybe hear from Nokraj, sir.
We should hear from Nokraj, sir.
Very good evening, all of you. And today I personally feel that I'm blessed. And I strongly see that I'm blessed. Because I just could be able to come in contact with versatile personalities of teaching English. And there is a saying that is said by Plato. That is, a king must be philosopher. So here I could see philosophers over there. That is what. That only can make things can happen like this. So today I have found something really interesting, something really enlightening on a great platform like LinkedIn. And I once again congratulate. I could not say that because I'm really younger to that. But Haribab Garu did do a great thing. And I would like to see him once again on the same platform. And I hope that he includes me in that program. Right. Thank you, sir. And for your great love and affection. It's really a wonderful feast, academic feast. No doubt at all. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Listening to all your experiences, we boosted ourselves, and we from Team English also will be requesting Hari sir to give these kind of opportunities more and more. And now let me request Sachin Kumar sir to please give few words and giving us an ending remark for today.
Thank you, ma'am, and good afternoon, everyone. So it was a great experience for me as well. I'm not an academician per se, and I'm a business person. So I get to visit hundreds of universities every year, and we attend almost all the higher education conferences that happens across the country. But rarely I get an opportunity to attend a conference where the teachers of a specific subject are present and they discuss the challenges, nuisances, opportunities in that particular specific area. So it was certainly a great learning for me. I got to learn is how technology is playing a key role now, and how the academicians are very open to, in fact, embrace it and then kind of adopt it to improve the learning outcomes for the students. So fantastic experience, and I got to understand so many apps are there which are being used by English language faculty members. I was not aware of any one of them actually. So thank you for arranging this conference and event, and I got to learn a lot. Thank you.
So now it's really, I should say with a heavy heart that it's the end of the day. And thank you, Sachin sir, for being with us for the day. And I would love to say you're so patient enough.
Especially board with all of us and the sponsor is even there. He was the master for the day.
Yes.
But we have made it quite possible, all of us becoming master.
And yes, and so like all the participants who are here, like as we mentioned earlier, we have a feedback link ready with us provided. Just announcing. So the feedback link is already given in the WhatsApp, which we all are present in that group. You can happily find it and submit your feedback on it. Now you're always welcome.
A pleasant evening to everyone. I'm Nagarani from Sita College. Though I'm physically present here, unable to sit among you because of some health issues. Sorry for that. And I just want to give my feedback and about this session that was wonderful, really. And this is very creative and informative, and also the inspirative all our aspirants, really. And right from the morning 10 o'clock, I have been living in the world of English by looking each and because at our college we used to spend all other categories of all other branches like that. But now I can see the ocean of English today. So thank you for being here and everyone sparing your time. And also I just want to say that these kind of sessions, furthermore, hereafter we want to have these kind of sessions and also the workshops really helpful for all of us. Thank you so much. And thank you for this golden opportunity.
So as it is heard from Mama, though she is not present with us personally, but she's virtually every time there in the meeting. Thank you for that. We have been observing you there. And thank you each and every participant who are here present today over offline and on online too. And now it's time for a great thing, that is fun. Felicitating all the people who are with us, and with a great pleasure and with a token of gratitude, we are giving our love towards the people who are with us whole day and were giving their valuable inputs. So now I request our Vice Principal Hari sir and also our beloved Principal sir. I request Hari sir to accompany our Principal sir for the felicitation process.
I request all the members truly that you have put in effective effort, but it's always a customary practice in felicitating the moderators that they have taken extra pain in supporting the whole discussion. And I request now Professor Srinivas Babu, who has moderated the panel discussion on how the technology is based out of the educational foundation. And I request you, sir, to just sit. And then I request Sachin Kumar sir also join the felicitation. Yes. Please be seated. Among the claps of all of you, and I would now like to ask our principal sir to give away a memento and felicitate him with a shout. Yeah, I'm coming. Give me a microphone, please. Give me a microphone, please. Oh, they take care of. Yeah. Thank you, sir. It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure having Srinivas Babu on the board. We'd like to have Srinivas to live longer with all precious wealth and health, to lead the language community. He has done all his best in giving away my microphone. Yeah, I'm here. I hear you. One more picture. It's our pleasure having Srinivas Babu to guide all of us forever. Thank you very much, sir, for your presence this morning. Thank you, sir. And it's now one more pleasure in receiving Professor Kasu, head of the department, ABA from Sanketika Parshad, who has made an attempt of moderating a lightning talk. Yeah, please be seated. Please be seated. And she is also one among the faculty members who tries hard in giving away all the best for language teaching, all for the best giving language teaching, and we request her to present all the same forever, and we wish her to grow well. Thank you, ma'am. Last but not the least, our own local member who has taken all the pride and promoting the lightning talk and has shown how the lightning talk is conducted, Mrs. Mahalakshmi, to receive a little memento. She is Mrs. Mahalakshmi, who is working. Mrs. Mahalakshmi, who has dealt very well in giving away the picture of how the edtech tools that are being used in any little interesting setup, even without much investment, also how language teaching that can be happened with the help of tools. And we request our master of the day, Sachin sir, to come and sit here, and then we would like to clap for all of the measures that we have put in for that, and we request our principal sir to give a shawl for him. And it's not ended, and he's going to support us, giving British Council's English score for all of us. And it is not 1, 2, 28 certification worth more than thousands of rupees he's going to give us. Thank you very much, sir. We wish you to have a lot of prosperity in the life. Thank you. And now, I now request Principal Sir to give away the certificates of participation after your remarks.
Okay, anyhow, it's a time is already 4:45. So really, I'm very happy to listen from all of you, your feedbacks, because our management also asked me to convey their wishes. They are here in the campus. They come once in a week or 15 days. They come, and from the inception of college, we are having my interest from beginning. I am here working as a principal, as a former principal, but English language, which is very, very important requirement for engineering students, whichever branch they are. So by keeping that in my mind, I keep faith on Haribabu and establish the total infrastructure, and whatever faith we are all keeping on him. So he developed everything here, and the faculty also, most of them are trained under him, and all the results, they are very clearly visible. Our placement record, which clearly shows the success, because in IT industry especially, I am very aware of the fact. So communication, which is very, very important. Next, generally we look at first priority for most of the companies, especially in service sector, IT companies. They give top priority to communication. Next, coding and other areas. So by keeping that in our mind, so we tried our best, and Haribabu also did well. He is also working here from the inception of college. Really, they are also using all the mobile applications, and inform all the students also. Even the examinations also, they are conducting online by inviting some people from industry, all these things. Clearly, they are all successful.
There are quite a few who have taken the online evaluation, and there are quite a few.
Really, thank you very much for your acceptance also. Okay, anyhow, it's a great success, and through your voice, okay, really, we are very happy, and we are also having that faith. We try to encourage more number of such type of events. Whichever proposal they put forward, immediately we accept. That is the greatness of our management. So they don't ask much questions. That faith they are having with us here in India, only the thing, accountability and responsibility. Both the faculty should accept. That's only the requirement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So we want your time so that we can provide certifications to the
Please, sir. Please, madam. Do it fast.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. May I request K. Pravalika ma'am to please come and collect. Pravalika ma'am. Naren Kumar sir.
We'll post
Santosh
the pictures.
Kumari.
We'll post the pictures all in an order. Don't worry. You need not worry.
Santosh Kumari ma'am. Gopal Krishna sir. Jaypal Das sir.
I request Sachin sir also join. Sir, please. Sachin sir, please.
Pushpalata ma'am.
Please, sir. Please come forward. Sir, please. Santosh Kumari, ma'am. Santosh Kumari. Look at least two. Please, sir.
Pushpalata ma'am.
Sachin sir, please. Now it is okay.
Now the frame is complete.
Yeah.
Jaypal sir. And now we have Pushpalata ma'am. Next we have Kameshwari ma'am. Venkateshwar Rao sir. Pushpalata ma'am is here right now. Venkateshwar Rao sir. Nagarani ma'am. Nukraju sir.
Kavya ma'am always checks.
Ravi sir.
Can I request Satish not to cover, Venkatesh not to cover? We'll send the pictures.
Kiranmayi ma'am to please join us here. I do believe that this is a certification, so we can put our hands together. So let's put our hands together for Sanyas Naidu sir. So maybe it's my mistake, I did not ask you to put your hands together. So let's put your hands together for Satish Kumar sir. Again, the batteries gone down. Maybe the batteries are getting down. Do you want some charges again? We'll provide it to you. Srinivas Rao sir. Now it is for Mary Teresa ma'am. Can we have a big round of applause for her? Now let's have Subramaniam sir on the board. May I request Rohinama ma'am to please join for the certification? I again request all of you to please put your hands together. Karna Sagar sir. Karan Sagar.
Karan Sagar.
Now we are getting into some serious experienced board, and we have first on it our Professor Srinivas Babu sir. A big round of applause for him. We have a lot to learn from him, and we are going to learn it for sure. Kasu ma'am, our moderator for the day. A big round of applause for Kasu ma'am. As always, our Hari sir says, the name spells magic. I hope you would have understood. Hari Kumar sir. And most loved from our team, and she is our Mahalakshmi ma'am, moderator of the day. And please allow our team English to accept the certifications from Sachin sir, and Principal sir, and our Hari sir.
Come all of you. Come all of you. Yes, sir, come on. All of us together. Take from Is that all receiving certificates? Anybody else has missed it by chance? Thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity that you all have given.
We also would like to get a photograph for our team lead, our HOD, with the certificate from Sachin sir and Principal sir. What do you say, everyone? Yes. Principal sir will request a photograph with the certification. Sachin Kumar sir, will you also please?
Given almost.
Oh, sure, sir, sure, sir.
Given already. Yeah. Tomorrow. It's very difficult for me.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Your presence is most important.
Okay, next. Yeah. Before going to end the event, it is my pleasure in proposing a vote of thanks with the permission of Ma'am Kavya, who is the host for valedictory session. I deem it as my pleasure, and then it's all the pleasure of all the teachers from this part of southern part of India. We love to have British Council like a popular agency should always live longer for supporting the teachers like us. And we always come forward to make use of the services that are rendered by British Council, since it is a selfless effort, and it is with an effort that it has given a lot of priority for the language teachers. You can see earlier when we were all trained under Government of Andhra Pradesh program, where most of us were acting as master trainers also. This was a credit that always British Council puts forward. There is a special way of driving the English force in language teaching needed way. It has called Train the Trainer program, and then which cascaded much into the fold of all language teaching and learning by then. And similarly, now as part of this event, mobile assisted language learning, since morning they supported like anything. Thanks for all the best that you have given us. And I appreciate the effort of all moderators. Online, there are many teachers, students from English and Foreign Languages University. And above all, I thank all the internal members of this Lendi Institute, all the heads of the department, our principal sir, management, who were quite kind enough in offering all the best. And but not the least, the student coordinators who have given all the best for us, giving away snacks, refreshments, and whatever that little point that we wanted, they have done it with the greatest love towards the teachers. That is where actually teacher really enjoys the pleasure of being a teacher always. So
Thanks to Srinivas who has supported giving away all the technological support. And finally, let's say bye to each other and we'll end up the session with national anthem. And even online also, if you can put your cameras on, otherwise you can please follow national anthem. Manadhinayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchala Jala Chitaranga Tava Shubha Name Jage Tava Shubha Ashisha Mage Gage Tava Jaya Gatha Jana Gana Mangala Dayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidhata Jaya He Jaya He Jaya He Jaya 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 He Jaya. One more last announcement for the online participants. Offline, you can take your turn happily by saying bye to each other. Online participants, this meeting is going to end within a very short while. We request you to give your feedback. The link has already been posted on the chat window. And we also can post the same link there in the WhatsApp group too. We would love to receive your feedback, and after that, you'll be receiving participation certificate from British Council. Thank you so much for all your love and affection and patience levels, and then the support levels from the beginning. Even if we have not given a single minute break, except 20 minutes lunch break. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone. Bye bye. See you again.